Hey, before I get started, I wanted to show you guys what I've created. It's kind of a city block that's 3D, and if you go in here, it's set up under a scene. So you can see that there's 4 buildings here, and I've actually created a little bit of a sidewalk and a street. You can get a lot more detailed with this type of artwork. I just wanted to do this really fast so you guys could see that you can make 3D objects and buildings in Anime Studio or MOHO 12. There are some limitations. They can be fixed. So if you notice when I turn this scene, this building in the background, the short one, starts to disappear. That's because of the way that I have depth sorting turned on. So you'll have to, if you want to use this as a scene, you can position your buildings the way you want and then manually go in and turn off depth sort by true distance and apply, and then you'll have to manually make sure that you have your buildings in the correct order. So this one should be underneath there, and this one should be on top, and then this one should be underneath here. So manually, you can actually set your buildings to render correctly if you have a different perspective. I just had, let me undo everything real quick. I just had it set to depth sort just so I could actually do some camera moves so you guys could see that it is actually 3D from top and bottom. And I'll also, just to let you guys know, for any of my Patreon subscribers, I'll be sending this file to you so you can kind of check it out and see how I built it. And yeah, that's it. Let's start the video. What's up, y'all? Today I'm going to show you how to make true 3D buildings in Anime Studio or MOHO 12. And it's really easy, and it's a great way to create backgrounds for like houses or city streets really fast. So I'm going to start off by turning on the grid. I'm going to hit Command G. Oops. Command G. And then I'm just going to start by drawing the front face of an apartment building. So I'll hit S for selecting shape. I'll select the square. I'll have autofill and auto stroke on. And I already have this brown kind of brick fill. So I'm going to go ahead and draw just the front of a building like this. And the reason I have the grid on is because I need that grid to snap the left and right sides. But first we'll go ahead and draw that square. I'm gonna hit Command G again to just turn it off for a second. Then I'm just gonna draw some windows. So I'll hit S again. I'm gonna change the fill to a light gray and hold shift down and select a darker gray for the stroke. I'm gonna turn the width down too, to about 2. I'm just going to draw a little window. Here's the top. I'll do a Command C, Command V, copy and paste. Drag that down. Actually, let me make this a little thinner. Click on it. Squish it a little bit. Command C, Command V, copy, paste. And I'm holding shift down so it drags straight down. Hit S for a new shape. Draw the actual window. And then I'll hit S again. This time I'm going to fill the color in with like a light kind of yellow gray, just to give the appearance of a window. And we'll just draw a rectangle here. Command C, Command V to copy paste. Hold shift down and option so it just goes straight down. And then I'll click on them and just bring them a little closer together so we have a window. I'll hit G and left click and drag over everything. So I grab that whole window. I'm going to hit Command C, Command V to copy paste again. Hold shift down. Again, that's to keep it straight aligned left to right. Over to here. I'll go ahead and hit Command V again to paste one more. And I'll kind of evenly space it even though it's coming off of the building. Like that. I'll hit G again and grab all 3 of the windows And since I didn't select any of the points of the actual building back, it's not selected, so I can hit T and go ahead and shrink that down to about the right size. While I'm here, I'm going to hit Q and select the building and change the width to 2. Oops, 2. And change the stroke color. I'll select the fill and then make that a little bit darker brown, just so it blends a little better, and hit OK. Now I'm going to create kind of a ledge underneath the windows, so I'll hit S again. Alright, let me hit T. Click off the artwork, then hit S. And I'll use the same color as the window, so I'll go ahead and select that light gray. Change the stroke to the stroke of the window. I'll hit S, and I'm just going to draw a little rectangle down here. And, oops, let's change that stroke color. So I'm hitting T, just so I can transform it. I'll shrink it down. I'm going to hit Command C, Command V to copy and paste, just to have another rectangle. And I'll squish this one, hit Q, and just make this a little bit darker, just to give it more detail. I'll hit OK. Now that we have some artwork for that top, we'll do another layer. We'll just hit G, select the windows and that ledge again. Command C, Command V, copy, paste, move that down. And then, since this is the front of the building, we'll go ahead and hit G, drag over the first window, and then holding Shift down, we'll go ahead and select that other one. Do Command C, Command V, and hold Shift down and move that down. So this is the first floor. Then we'll go ahead and hit S, and I'm just going to draw a door. And maybe make that a little bit lighter. So I'll click Q and click on that. Make it a little lighter. Hit T, kind of stretch it out to the size I need it to be. I'm using my mouse wheel to zoom in. And if you want to be able to do this, where you zoom in and out with your wheel, I think you just need to go up to Preferences and just set that. I'll hit S again, just to make the door shape. Or frame, I should say. Draw that. And then we'll just draw a bar across, just to make this easy. I don't want to make this too long. Okay, so there we have the front of the building. Let's make one more for the top, for the roof. Just draw another shape at the top. I'm going to overextend it a little bit so it's hanging off. Probably have to fiddle with that a little bit later, but let's go ahead and name the layer front and hit OK. And now this is just another really easy, quick way to get your sides of your building. I'm just going to hit duplicate, and I'll call this one left side, or just left side. And then duplicate that one and call this one right side. Okay, now this is important. I need to turn the grid back on. Command G. And with the right side selected, we're going to select everything. So I'm going to hit Command A, then I'm going to hit T, and then I'm going to drag the artwork over, holding Shift down. To the right. And we need to have the artwork snap directly to, let me undo that. Let's go back. So it's over the front artwork. We're going to hold Shift down, drag it to the right, and we need it to snap directly across from the front of the building. So we have that right side. Now to turn this, we need to get the origin position in the exact right place. So, and I got this trick from Justin Allen. He's a MOHO anime studio creator. He is really, really good at tutorials, and he makes cartoons in MOHO. and Anime Studio too. So check out his site. Link is in the description below. But to get this to turn, I need to hit G, and I'm just going to select this point here because we need to have that reference. And I'm going to hit T, and I need to get the X coordinates. So 0.4444. I'll go ahead and select that and hit Command C to copy it. And then you need to select the origin point, which is this tool right here. And under X, we'll just go ahead and paste it, Command V. And you see that it's kind of hard to see in the screen, but the origin has actually snapped right to that point where we want to turn it. So now that we have the origin point there, we need to select the XY rotation, or rotate layer XY tool, and then we need to rotate the Y rotation 90 degrees. So I'm going to type in 90. As you can see, it's kind of hard to tell because the grid's on. It has actually turned 90 degrees. And let me do Command G to turn the grid off so you can see it. It's in front of the front layer right now, but we'll go ahead and drop that underneath the front so you can't see it. Then we're going to do the same thing with the left side. So I'm going to do a Command G, turn the grid back on. We're going to go to that left side, and we'll go ahead and hit G, or hold Command A. Select everything. Then we have to move this over and make sure it snaps. We'll hit G. Select this point here because we need to find the origin point of this line or the side of the building. I'll hit T. We can see the position is negative 0.3889. We'll just go ahead and copy that. Command C. And then select origin point under the X. Command V, and we'll paste that. And you can see that origin point's turned right there. Now rotate XY layer, and this time we're going to rotate negative 90 degrees. If you actually mess up, see if I type in 90 and hit it, it's actually rotating forward. So we need to actually do negative. So just put a negative in front of that and hit return. Now it's behind it. We'll drop that also behind the front side and turn off the grid. Command G. So just looking at this, it doesn't look like it's 3D, but we're going to put all three of these layers into a group just so it's easier to rotate and mess around with. We'll go ahead and do this. We'll call this building. And we're going to drag and drop all three of those layers into the building folder. And when we click on this, and I'm going to use the rotate XY just so you can kind of see what's going on. When I grab this and turn it, you can see that now we have the sides of the buildings as well. The problem is, because of the layer sorting, if I turn this too far, you can see the back, the right-hand layer kind of pokes through, so it doesn't render properly. The way to fix this is, because this is in a group, we can double-click the building folder, go under depth sort, sort layers by depth, and then turn on sort by true distance. That way the program knows to only render what's closest. So I'll hit apply and OK. Now you can see that when I grab the building and turn it, it renders correctly all the time. And let me reset the view so we're facing forward. Now we don't want doors on all four sides, so we can actually go in and let's do the right side. Let's reset, hit reset on the rotation just so we can see it again and work on it a little bit. So we can hit G, and I can go ahead and delete the door on this side. And also grab a window, hit Command C, Command V, copy, paste, and move it down. And honestly, we can actually even make this a little longer too. I'm just not making the back of the building because I'm not gonna turn the camera view enough to even see the back. You can create the back also, but I'll do that in a different tutorial. So let's just stretch this out so the building's a little longer. Hit T. I'm gonna pull this way out so it's just bigger building. And we'll go ahead and hit G, and I'm just going to copy all of these windows. So holding shift down, selecting all 3 of these windows, copy paste, move this over. And we have the point of origin is still the same. So we'll go back to XY rotation, we'll type in 90. That turns it back. And actually, I should have, let's go back a second. I should have done this beforehand, because now when I stretch out this one, the left side, let's reset that. Actually, you know what? Let's just delete the left side. Delete that. Right side will just duplicate, so it's the same exact length. Type in left side. Command A. Oops. Hit return. Command A, so we select everything. And turn the grid back on. Command G. We'll move this over. Snap it there. There. And we'll just need to grab that origin point again. So we'll hit that, or select this point. And it's exactly the same. Copy origin point negative 0.899, and then this, and rotate it negative 90 again. Okay, we'll go to the right side, make sure we rotate that 90 degrees, and then when we select building, the building, and then rotate it, now you can see we've got a longer building, and the sides are correct in their shape. So now that we've got one building, you can actually go ahead and duplicate this whole folder. So we'll duplicate that. And what's really cool about this now is if I hit return and I grab the transform layer tool and move this over, what you'll notice is now you can, it's an actual 3D, it's an actual 3D object, kind of. Because when I pull it over to the left or right, you can see the left or right, it's actually turning it. And you can see depth sorting doesn't work quite well, so I'm just gonna drag this over here. I'll do it again, create a third building, hit return, and move this one over here. So we have 3 3D buildings, and like I said, the depth sort doesn't work correctly, but we can just use that same trick we used for the walls. We'll go ahead and create a new group, and we'll call this all buildings. Click and drag all 3 folders into that, and again we double click, go to depth sort, sort depths, or sort layers by depth, and sort by true distance, and hit apply and hit OK. And when I use the XY rotation again, now you'll see that they all render correctly. I'm holding shift down so it rotates directly left and right. If you don't hold it, it kind of turns it like that. So in just a couple minutes, you can see that we've made a whole bunch of buildings. We can start using this for background artwork. And let me just go in here. So let's see. So this is the first building, or building 3. We can select the front, and then you can go in here, and I'll go ahead and select that color. I'll change it a little, make it a little bit of a different color. And with that selected, I'll hit copy down here under the swatches. I'll select the left side and hit paste, so it changes that color. And I can't see the other side, so I'm going to need to rotate all the buildings real quick. So I'll select all buildings, turn it this way a little bit, go ahead and select the right side, hit Q, select that, hit paste, and now we have the building all the other colors, or the new color. We'll select the building folder And we can even drag that up, make it a little bit taller, move it upwards so it's kind of sitting in the right place. Select all buildings, and then you can see that we've got altered that building a little bit, even its size, and it's ready to go. You can turn this, and I'll go ahead and make a bunch of buildings. You can even make the street and the sidewalk in front of the building using this technique. It's really easy and fun to do, and that's it. Yeah, if you have any questions or comments, just leave them down below, and I'll see you on the next video.